Hi, so we're going to talk all about food and how it relates to your pet who has a diagnosis of diabetes and receives insulin. So this is actually how Shoogypups got started. Stillwell was diagnosed with diabetes, and I was sent home and asked to give him a certain amount of prescribed dog food that matched a certain dose of insulin. Well, Stillwell would give the insulin okay, but I couldn't get him to eat the food because he did not like the taste. It was not up to his liking. So we went several days struggling on how to give him his insulin because he wouldn't eat his food. So that's when I decided to kind of think back about how I would treat a kid who wouldn't eat in the human world. So in order to get Stillwell to eat the certain amount of food that he had to, I made Shoogypups recipes that added tons of taste to the food so that it was really to his liking and that he could gobble it up real fast. So medically speaking, when you're talking about insulin, insulin is required for any food that has sugar, carbohydrate, or starch in it. And that's because insulin is needed to digest that part of the food. So with your pet, the prescribed amount of dog food that you give has a set amount of carbohydrate, sugar, and starch in it, and that's why you give a specific dose of insulin to match that amount of food. So when you're looking at the Shoogypups recipes, you'll notice that all of the ingredients have very little or no carbohydrate, sugar, and starch in them. That's because I don't want you to have to add any extra insulin to your dog's regimen. I want you to give the prescribed amount of dog food mixed with a Shoogypups recipe, and then you don't have to change the amount of insulin you give to match the food. It's important to remember that the Shoogypups recipe should never replace the prescribed dog food, but rather they should add to it. One trick you can use on top of what we just talked about is using Shoogypups for a snack or a treat. Because remember, in between meal times, your dog may get hungry, but you don't want to give them a lot of food that has sugar, carbohydrate, or starch in them because you don't want to have to give more insulin than the scheduled times of the day. So if you give snacks or treats with Shoogypups, you've basically given them free food or stuff that doesn't need extra insulin. So let's go over what a typical day would look like. So your meal time will be the prescribed dog food plus Shoogypups recipe plus insulin. In between meal times, it's just Shoogypups recipe. You never want to mix the two and give only snacks and miss the meal time because it is very important that the insulin is given to your pet and it's given on time. When you're making Shoogypups recipes, you're actually making quite a lot of food. So don't get nervous that you have to cook this food for every single meal for your dog. One Shoogypup recipe typically lasts 6 to 8 meals for a small or medium-sized dog, and it typically lasts 3 to 4 meals for a large dog. If you're using it for just snacks and treats, you'll probably get 10 to 12 snacks or treats out of one recipe. So by using Shoogypups recipes, not only will your dog stay healthy and safe, but you will keep peace of mind as well.
Thanks for watching. If you want more information on dog diabetes or the printable recipes and worksheets that accompany the videos, then be sure to check out Shoogypups.com. Take care.